Hey folks, my name's Ed Trevors. My pronouns are he, him, and his. I'm an Anglican priest serving in the beautiful parish of Christchurch-shelburne that sits on the ancestral and on the unceded territory of the Mi'kmaq people. And today I feel like dancing. My wife told me I had to dance, so I feel like dancing. I discovered something today that made me feel so good, made me feel so much better than I have in like months and months and months and months and months. You see, I got this spot on the bottom of my foot. And I've been walking around with it, like probably for about a year actually, not just months, probably about a year. This one spot on my foot. And I don't know if you've ever had this kind of sensation, but every time you take a step, it feels like there's something stuck to the bottom of your foot. But when you sit down, take your sock off, take a look at it, or take your sandal off and take a look at it, there's nothing there. And you brush it off and it's just skin. There's nothing bothering it. There's nothing irritating it. You know, I thought, well, maybe I have a plantar's wart developing. Nope, nothing like that. So I just had this one spot on my foot that every time I took a step, I could feel it. Now, it wasn't painful. It was just there. It was just this nuisance. It just made me feel like something was there. It just offered a slight discomfort isn't the word. It just offered this slight irritant. This slight irritation. So this morning, I'm at the house, I'm talking to Nanaya while she's eating her breakfast, and I have my shoes, and I'm getting ready to come over here to do a video, and I'm talking about a video and what I'm going to say in that video, and my shoe, I set them on the chair to put them on, and one of them falls off. And I pick it up and I look at the underside, the tread of the shoe, and oh, there's a rock, and I take the rock out. No, and there's another rock. There's another rock up at the top. And I'm like, wait a second. I dug at it and I dug at it and I dug at it. And it took me like 2 or 3 minutes of really working at it to get this, whatever it was, to come out. Well, it turns out it was a thorn. The thorn was about 1/2 centimeter long. And it had been stuck all the way up into the tread of my shoe. Right at the same spot that my foot felt that irritation. It wasn't deep enough that I could feel the sting from the sharp end of the wood, from the thorn. It wasn't deep enough that it was cutting into me, that I knew something sharp was there. I actually couldn't even feel it at all. But my foot adjusted to it. So when I'm in this particular pair of shoes and I walk, my foot always felt like there was something in the shoe, underneath, between my foot and the shoe. But because I felt that way even when I was in my sandals, or when I felt that way when I was in another pair of boots, or if I felt that way when I was walking barefoot or in socks around the house, I assumed it had something to do with my foot. And so I never ever checked the shoe. So why am I telling you all this? Well, I think it's a really great metaphor for the importance of being observant with ourselves. You see, we all have these irritants in our life. There's these things that happen that makes us cringe and get angry and get ugly. They tweak us. And sometimes it doesn't make us violent. Sometimes it doesn't draw out a visceral, emotional response. Sometimes it's just slightly less than uncomfortable. It's just an irritation. And it might not even be a perceptible irritation, but it's there. And over time, it creates this callus, this hard spot on us. Like that thorn created a hard spot on the bottom of my foot. These irritations in our psyches, these emotional and mental and spiritual irritations can create on us these hard spots. They don't keep us from living, but they keep us from truly experiencing the moment for all that it is. It takes just a little bit of our attention away from what's going on around us. It takes a little bit of our thought away from where we are. And as those hard spots build up, and as we encounter those moments that cause those hard spots to flare. A little bit more of our emotional energy, a little bit more of our mental energy, a little bit more of our spiritual energy is drawn away to each one of those hard spots. I know this may sound silly, but when we encounter those hard spots, when we encounter those irritations, when we encounter those places, those events and those experiences in our lives where we feel like something is just a little off, something is just a little bit irritated, something is a little bit calloused, look for the causation. Explore and examine what's going on. Explore and examine what's going on for you in that moment. Explore and examine what's going on in the world around you, in the event around you, in the experience that's unfolding around you. Explore. Examine all that there is. Go back in time with it if you have to. Take a look at where that splinter of wood is jamming at you, where that thorn is poking at you, where that pebble in your shoe is grinding against your foot. Because if we do that, then we can do the work that's required to remove it. We don't have to get used to everything. We don't have to be conditioned for everything. It's okay for us to actually deal with the things that are causing us irritation, causing us discomfort. I remember watching a movie once and the fellow said, I'm Irish. I can deal with something being wrong forever. But we don't have to. We're allowed to fix the problems, even when they feel trivial and minor. We're allowed to be comfortable. May the Lord bless you. May the Lord keep you. May the Lord's face be made to shine upon you and be gracious to you. May the Lord's countenance be lifted up to you. May you always know the peace of being in the Lord's presence. And I pray that as you experience those tough spots, that you will explore and examine what's going on, so that you too can remove the thorn and dance. Amen.